Are you filming already, you little bum? Are you filming?
Yeah.
In my Q&A video a couple months ago, I told you guys, I apologize for the wind noise. I told you guys how I record, what camera I use, what mic I use and stuff like that, but lots of you guys are curious as to how I have my in-car video set up and to how I work all that, because I guess there's a bunch of different ways you can go about it. I just kind of problem solved when I started doing this and did it with what I had, and I personally think that's the best way. If you're looking to get into this, or you're looking to try and start making videos, or you want to improve, realistically the best thing you can do is just make a good video with whatever you have. So if all you have is a GoPro, which is all I had, that's what's going to work best for you. Don't go out and buy a camera and buy a suction cup mount and buy a bunch of stuff that you don't need. Just work with what you have. So for instance, well, like I was saying, I just use a GoPro. It's a 3 Plus. It's not even anything newer. I think they're on like a 6 now, and the 3 Plus still shoots fine. All you guys are always commenting when I tell you it's a 3 Plus that I use, you're always like, oh my god, like that looks really good. And you don't need the best or the latest stuff, you just need something that works. So what I use is I use this Hero 3 Plus, and then I already happen to have a suction cup mount that I used for I don't even know what. And then I had like the solid GoPro case, and at the time this was all I had, so I literally took a Dremel tool and cut a hole in the side of it so that it could access like the mic ports and stuff while it was in there, because I didn't want to go buy a new case. And I was like, whatever, I already have this one, I can make it work. I already had another one that was waterproof, so I just went ahead and cut that. Like, that's my point. Like, you guys just got to use what you have to the best of your abilities. So that's what I'm using for the longest time. And then I bought this online for $7, and basically it plugs into the side of your GoPro some way, like this, and then it turns it into like a mic output so that you can plug this into the mic that I'm actually using on the camera right now. And that's basically my setup for how I make videos. Now if you wanted to, you can go ahead and use a case like this for your GoPro, which has just like the external GoPro mic setup holes, and you don't have to actually use an external mic. However, I found that I had a mic available to me, and the quality's obviously better if you do use the external mic. But there's a lot of people that do use this. I'm pretty sure like Matt Ferreira and a bunch of really big people don't even have external mics, they just use the GoPro mic. So if that's all you have, don't worry. I've made videos with just this before when my mic was broken or whatever, and it still turns out all right. So just work with what you have is the main thing. So basically, I have a cheaper mic, which actually works to my advantage because I can unscrew the little mount that mounts it to the camera and take that completely off. I'm not sure if some of the more expensive mics have that option. So what I did was I went to the dollar store and I just bought Velcro. It was a pretty long strip, but I just cut it down to the size I needed. It was pretty cheap. And basically I stuck a piece of Velcro to the bottom of the mic once you unscrew the mount. And then I stuck another piece of Velcro up on top of the dash on a nice angle and the flattest spot I could find. So it's going to be different in every car because every car has different flat spots. And so I stuck it to the flattest spot I can find, and all I do is just Velcro the mic up on the dash, and then I suction cut my GoPro to the windshield, plug my little adapter in for the audio, and then plug that into the mic. And then pretty much you just have to make sure that where your connection is for the mic to the GoPro, that it's not going to bounce around and vibrate, otherwise you will hear that in your clip. And I went and used Velcro, but that's not to say that's the only way you can do it. For instance, I make a lot of videos in my truck, and what I actually do is I just take like tape. I use electric tape just because that's what I have, and I put electric tape through in between the bottom of the mic and that rail, and just 2 pieces of tape and stick it to the dash. And that's what I do if I make a video in any other car other than my car. This is just my main one, so I use the Velcro here, but you don't have to do it that way. And if you do have a mic that's more expensive and not like mine, where I can just take the bottom off and put the Velcro on, you can get little adapters that are like the same things that it slides into on the top of your camera, and you can just 2-way tape those to your dash, which I'm sure lots of other people do as well. But I had this option, it was a little bit more stable, so I went ahead with that option. Then here we are, this is what you look like when we're finally all set up. Make sure that you try and mount your mic a little bit out of the video, because I've had videos before where it's showing, and to me it bugs me, to you guys it might not bug you so much. But that's it. This is your final kind of look that you're going for. You can place the mic anywhere along the windshield that looks best for you. A couple things that I like to keep in mind are make sure all your fans are off, because that's something that you will 100% hear in these videos. Another thing that is handy to do is to tint your windows. Now, I never did this, and that's because we're moving to BC and they have laws against that, and I don't really want to mess with those until I'm there and I know them for sure. I don't want to waste money on the tint. But if you look at anybody that does have tint on their windows, it looks way better, because right now you'll notice it's probably very bright outside my car. And even when I'm in the truck, it's a lot darker and it looks a lot better. The quality looks much better if you do have the tinted windows. That's something I recommend, but I actually haven't done, so it's a little bit backwards, but it would definitely help you guys out. So that's pretty much it. It's super simple, super cheap. I know if you don't have some of these things, it might cost you a tiny bit, but don't overspend on anything to get started. I know that you can hook up your DSLR to the windshield and you can do a whole bunch of funky stuff, but I don't feel the need. I feel like the GoPros are plenty for in-car videos. They do very well. And just the suction cups to hold the cameras. I know you can find cheap ones, but something to hold that weight is going to be a little bit more expensive than what I was looking to spend. But that's my setup. That's what I use to edit. I even started using, I think it was called Wondershare. It was like a one-time fee, $60 or something like that. It wasn't the greatest, but it's something to get you started. And I did not pay for a software until YouTube actually started making me enough money to do that. And then I went ahead and bought Final Cut. But that's not to say that you guys need anything great. I used like the bummiest software at the beginning just to get started, just to make videos happen. And it paid off. And I ended up actually being able to then afford something else because of those videos that I made. So if you guys are starting, the main thing here is just work with what you have and do the best thing that you guys can possibly do. I know this video was probably short for those of you that come back every day, but there's some of you who are really always asking me these questions, so I figured I'd make a video to help you guys out as much as I can. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch you next time. Be sure to click on one of these videos that's about to show up. Peace out.